Just spend all my it's going to be great.
You have found us. More podcast, where we want you to know God more deeply, find lasting freedom, discover your destiny and make an eternal difference. Now.
Well, we're here, live and well, in northern Michigan. We were just talking before the show about how we just got a bunch of snow in. Mm-hmm. It's great. I mean, it's I'm done with the snow.
It's pretty looking.
Why complain anymore? I mean,
do you guys know that the Sault Ste. Marie has already reached their yearly limit?
So no more snow.
You can't get any more.
Shut it off.
So sorry. Whoever's doing the satellites is turning on the snow.
Right.
You can knock it off.
It's snow and tiredness. We were just talking about how tired we are for 21 days, and
it does.
Pastor Hunter was like, he's like, it's gonna be great. And I've been getting made fun of about this lately because I say it a lot to my worship team when it's like, we just fell off a cliff and didn't land on our feet. Mm-hmm. Hey, guys, don't worry about it. It's going to be great. And then I quickly realized that's a PG thing. Yeah. I got that from you.
Okay.
You're learning it
right?
from him.
Yeah. Guys, it's going to be great.
Super great.
Super great. Super great. Maybe that's my ideation of it.
I love it.
It's going to be great.
PG has the walk it off theology.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's the way you want your pastor to be.
If you're having a bet, just walk it off.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Jesus will work out the details.
Right.
Yeah. So
right now I'm the least popular pastor at Arbor Light. Nobody likes me. It's like, geez, 2 more days of this.
Well, hey, we're willingly signing up. Nobody's forcing us to do it.
We're starving our flesh. It should be painful.
We're doing it, and we're making it. It's fun.
No one ever said that. Yeah, fasting is fun.
No
one ever said that. It's not the point.
Right. It's not fun, but it's definitely needed. And I think, like Pastor Gary mentioned last Sunday, the whole point of it is to tell your flesh, I'm in charge.
Yep.
Yeah.
And discipline hurts.
All use some more of that in our lives.
That's right. Yeah, it's not
buck up.
Yeah,
I tell that to myself. I got to buck up.
It's good. I mean, there's a lot of times I remember. Well, every 21 days that I've been a part of for the last 5 years is like I spend a lot more time in personal devotions than I do regularly.
Yeah,
because as a pastor, you kind of sometimes say, well, I do study a lot because I'm always doing stuff for my work, but to just get away and separately do it for yourself, like I'm just wanting to study just for my own reasons. It's
good.
So
got to do it.
A lot of that. Yeah, so it's nice.
Got to do it.
It's really good.
Yeah.
Well, we're here. Do you ever wonder why you take the time each week to listen to more podcasts? I'll tell you why. More stands for maximizing opportunities right now and eternity. So stop asking why you listen. Just never forget to listen and pass it on. And you are. And it's been great to hear people, fans of the show have been telling us that they're excited that we're back on the air and we're here. And, I don't think we've ever said that we're just going to never create a show just because, whatever, life just happens and things go on. And so sometimes it's difficult for us to get in here. But you guys have been faithful to stay with us. Yeah. And so here we are. Well, this episode of More Podcast is sponsored by Youish. Youish, for people who aren't trying to be young again, they just want to stand up without...
Youthish.
Youthish. Oh, Youthish.
Youthish.
Yeah, get it right.
Wait,
come on.
Youish.
The Youish is like, what is that? That's like
it's like Yiddish.
Yiddish, yes. The Yiddish version of Youth.
Youthish.
Youthish.
Here we are.
My bifocals are
You got it, buddy.
Okay,
he really needs this company.
That's it.
Yeah, Youthish. Here it is. For people who aren't trying to be young again, they just want to stand up without making a noise that scares a dog. Youthish helps reverse the emotional damage of aging, including needing a strategy to get off the couch, waking up injured with no memory of an accident, saying, I'll just live with it instead of going to the doctor. Users that have used this product have said that the knees that complain less loudly, a back that only needs one deep breath instead of 3, confidence that when you sneeze, nothing else happens. Youthish is clinically proven by people who remember life before Wi-Fi. To reduce the phrase, well, that's new, groaning as a lifestyle, and Googling, is this normal at my age? Not FDA approved, but highly recommended by anyone who owns heating pads and calls it essential equipment.
Yeah.
Youthish. You won't feel 25, but you might feel like you didn't betray yourself by sleeping. Yeah. Ask your doctor if aging with sarcasm is right for you. It's something, to check out. I mean, I don't know about you guys, but man, during the wintertime, my body just does not like the cold. I mean, it's just like every joint hurts, and I'm sure there's other things going on there, but one of the biggest lies that I was told was, hey, you lose some weight and it's going to get better. Bull crap. That is a lie and a half.
Wow.
I'm just going to say it. I said that. Do I need to bleep that?
You might want to.
I might bleep that,
if you bleep that, it's 10 times worse.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Bull, what?
What did he
What
say?
did you say in there? Yeah. It's a lie. I mean,
Alex, you don't feel like you have more breath like tying your shoes?
well, I don't pass out now when I tie my shoes.
That's
but
positive
That's
there,
positive.
buddy.
But as far as like the joint and stuff, and like
I saw your
people
wife
are like,
checking
you're like a
you out,
youth.
too.
Yeah, well,
She was oogling you the other day.
every now and then, yeah, the spark is still there. After 30 years, it's still there. But it doesn't last as long as it used to. Get that spark going, and not anymore. It's just like a quick little glance, and that's it. Yeah, so it's okay.
Yeah,
Life happens.
I've recently been using a heating pad. I will say that is a next level
Heating pad on the low back.
Man.
It's a confession here.
It's so nice.
What's that one insurance commercial where they're always talking about when you become like your parents?
Yeah.
Progressive or something. Yeah. And that is so funny.
I
and I'm
love
like,
that shit.
Yeah,
how many of those do I do now? I mean, I'm like, I do that.
Yeah.
I'll do that all
But
the
the
time.
funny thing is they kind of criticize everything that they do, which is actually good.
Right.
But,
Right.
Sure.
My favorite one lately is like, Jan, coffee for Jan.
Yeah.
Could be yawn.
I like the one where he always goes in and out of the he's at a mall and the dad's like, I don't know how they keep the lights on in this place. That is me 100%. Like, this place ain't making any money selling candles. Get out of here. What are we doing?
Did you see the one they did with the podcast? And he's got the two main characters that are usually on there.
Yes.
And he's like, we're going to do a podcast. And they're like, what's a podcast?
Yeah.
It's like, you've never heard of a podcast. And he's like, no, I've never heard of a podcast. He goes, what do you do? He goes, is this going to be on the internet? Can we download this? He's like asking I'm like, that sounded like us when we first started. Like, what is a podcast? How does this work? Yeah.
I do think podcasting has like bridged the gap though for people, the boomers who like knew radio programs and hey, this is Paul Harvey, just long form, right? Like it's the same idea. It's just, a little longer.
Well, Greg Chamberlain, I opened his eyes to that last year because he wanted to listen to our podcast, and he's like, I don't even know where to look. What is it? How does it work?
Yeah.
And I'm like, it's kind of like digital
station is it
radio.
on?
Yeah. You get the app, whatever app you're going to use, and then so I had to help him download an app so you can get to the podcast and stuff. And then he's checking stuff out, and he's like, it is so weird. He goes, it's like on-demand radio.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, it's pretty much that. Yeah.
That's the
nailed
gap.
it.
That's the bridge, right?
Yeah.
For those folks who remember that stuff.
I told him there's stuff for him, like radio classics.
Yeah.
Like you can listen to all the radio shows from the past.
You know what I was into for a minute there? I had this, I talked about this before, factory job. I was listening to old Twilight Zones.
Oh, those are good.
So much fun.
The radio versions.
Oh,
yeah.
man. The radio versions were great. And they actually had a newer version come out too, but super entertaining.
I had a friend in high school, Dan Lettingham, who was doing this way before audiobooks came out or anything. He found a way to record movies onto tapes from the TV. And so he would record movies so he can listen to them in the car when he's driving around. Just the audio, yeah.
Huh.
And so
That
he had
feels
like
like
Star
you get
Wars on
half
it and everything.
the thing.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. And so like we go on a drive or whatever and we're like listening to a movie. I mean, the sad part is
You
like,
get half the movie.
yeah, some
You're not
parts you're like what's going on there?
on?
There's like a noise and you don't really know. There's no dialogue, so you don't know what's going on. But it was good. Yeah, he was doing that way before it was ever audiobooks or podcasts or anything. So
So I went on a bicycle trip with him one time.
yeah,
He and Paul Voorhees
Yeah.
Jr. quoted the entire Back to the Future movie, the entire thing.
they probably listened to it on tape many times.
Yeah,
Yeah,
probably.
yeah, It is. It does lose something. But the funny thing was one time I like to mess with my wife. You guys know I like to prank her a lot. So I was watching a movie and I turned on the audio for people that are blind while the movie's playing. And she didn't know how to turn it off. And so I'm sitting there watching this whole movie. And so as it's going through the dialogue, all of a sudden it'll say, and the man turns quickly. And the man sits down.
Really? I didn't know this was a
That's
thing.
how it does
Oh,
it. So
really?
so that if you're blind, you can stay with
Okay.
what the
Oh,
movie
okay.
is.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it tells you what's going on. And they're like,
Well, see, Dan Lettingham just needed that for his car.
well, he was ahead of his time, but just
Right.
not that far. You know? So I do that. I was doing that. And Amy's like, turn this thing off. And I'm like, I don't know how to turn it off. I don't know what's going on. So the whole movie, I don't know what movie it was, but it was hilarious. And I'm just laughing so hard because it doesn't bother me as much as it bothers her. So that's how we keep our marriage
Spicy.
spicy. Yeah. All right. She's trying to kill me at one point. All right. Well, we're going to take an ID break and come back with our introductions. And I think I have introduction music because I always like put it in after the fact. And you guys never hear it until you listen to the podcast and you miss the excitement. I try to find something that matches our voices when we're doing it. But maybe if I put it in there now,
We'll get jazzed up.
yeah, you guys like feel it.
revved.
You're like,
Okay.
oh.
Run through a wall for these announcements.
Okay, wait, don't skip. That's awkward. This is the More podcast. And honestly, we kind of vibe. We're talking real faith, real life, and asking the questions you're already thinking, but don't say out loud. We're here to know God more deeply, find real freedom, and grow together. No pressure, just intentional. Stay right here. This isn't a situationship, it's a discipleship. We'll be right back.
That's going to put me to sleep.
Yeah.
I was getting tired there for a minute. I don't know about you.
It doesn't take much.
You do. Yeah, it's true. All right.
Okay, here we go. There we go. Ready? Yeah, you got that?
Oh boy.
Yeah. This is getting you going.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good.
Oh, it goes down there. Yes, turn it off. One time he said, I don't quote The Office that much, and then said, identity theft is not a joke, Jim. Unprovoked. Pastor Head to Head.
It is true. It is true. Hey, and we got Pastor Gary here. One time he said, I'm not expecting anything bad to happen, but if it does, I have already chosen who gets the flashlight. The ultimate prepper in northern Michigan, Pastor Gary.
Right? Okay. One time he said, I don't compare myself to superheroes, but absolutely believe suffering builds character and character gets a sequel. Pastor Hunter.
Awesome. And the man sitting across the table from all of us, the man that has all of the talent, knows what every button and knob does, and master of all voices. One time, he considered taking a college course on smuggling Bibles. Yeah. These are not the drones you're looking for. These are not the Bibles you're looking for. Pastor Alex Norton.
Hey, all right.
Did you like that this morning? I
did.
felt really.
I got a good laugh out of me.
That was good.
awesome.
All right.
I was, as you're doing it, and I'm like, wait a minute. This is starting to sound like a Star Wars reference here. I'm like, I'm always
Holy
like praying along with what
Spirit?
people are saying, and I'm like,
Yeah.
should I be praying with this one? Or, it was good. Yeah, whenever you mention Star Wars, I mean, why not? You know,
It's droids, right? These are not the droids you're looking
these
for.
are not
Yeah,
the droids you're
that's
looking
it.
for, but yeah,
No,
instead
I
of
get
these are not the Bible
droids.
Yeah,
I mean,
you know,
Droids. You got it the
yeah.
second time around.
You did. I mean, Bobby Johnson comes up to me. He's like, "That's pretty nice when your pastor knows to pray a prayer on your behalf like that." I'm like, "Yeah, he did."
It's not the Bibles
He
you're looking
knew
for.
that was my heart.
Oh, I died. That was so funny.
We're going to take an ID break. We're going to come back. Apparently, you know, you guys have been listening to the stories on Greenland. Apparently, we're working on trying to purchase Greenland for $1 trillion. Is that what it is? It comes out to something
I don't
like
know
that?
the number.
Trillion.
Yeah, it's quite a bit.
1 trillion.
$1 trillion. And so Greenland, apparently, you know, they're trying to maximize the opportunities. They just don't want to be, you know, the only one in the market for America. They're looking for other opportunities. Like if we can make $1 trillion, maybe we can make more. And so basically they posted Zillow. I don't know if you guys ever used that before to purchase a house. Yeah. You put it out in the market and Zillow, Redfin, all those guys. And so they got a post out here. I thought it'd be interesting to look at what they're saying Greenland has that you might want. I don't have $1 trillion to purchase it, but it's a possibility that, you know, maybe somebody else out there in the podcast world might, because we do happen to, broadcast all over the world. So maybe somebody else might find it interesting.
Okay.
So we'll come back after ID break and look at that Zillow ad.
Quick break. Don't leave. We We checked, and it's statistically awkward if you do. Gary is currently judging our life choices. Ted is fact-checking something no one asked for. Hunter is pretending this was the plan all along, and Alex is confidently nodding like he knows what's next. Nothing has been resolved, but everything feels louder and more important. Stretch your legs, grab a snack, mentally prepare. We'll be right back, and yes, it somehow gets better from here.
I think this whole thing with Greenland is kind of interesting. I mean, I've never been in a time in my life where we've actually bought anything as America like that before. I mean, Alaska was already purchased before I was born. Louisiana Purchase obviously was bought way before any of us came along. So it's just interesting to see this whole process playing out of us buying property as a country. I don't know about you guys, but it's interesting. Have you guys heard anything interesting about Greenland other than the fact that they're pretty boring there?
Greenland is full of ice and snow.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Right. It's basically a glacier, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just a big old glacier that we've used before.
Wait, is it
It's not a glacier. It's an island.
It's an island.
right? But is it like? Is
But it has a
it,
glacier on it, I think.
Yeah.
Is it? Wait,
It's got a glacier somewhere.
Yeah.
What kind of?
Well, it used to
people-
have a lot.
Greenland people are what?
Greenlandians.
Okay,
I have no
there it
idea.
is.
I made that
Okay.
up.
I just looked it up. You're close.
Are they Danish by
Yeah.
Yeah, that's.
Yeah.
I was like,
Yeah.
are we Dutch? What are we doing here?
It's Danish.
Danish, yeah. But I mean
Danish people do what?
nothing.
What do they do?
They're boring.
Their donuts are delicious.
They make Pastor Gary look like a
They-
wimp. Because they basically you're like walk it off kind of person. He's the guy that would be on Alone, that show Alone, and probably make it. These people are the next level.
Okay.
Right? I mean, winter, storms, blizzards.
Do they always? Is there ever a time when there's not snow? Is it always snowing?
It's always snowy. Yeah, they don't
Yeah,
really
I
have.
know.
I don't know.
They have some beachfront that's happening because of just the warming of the
Yeah.
environment stuff, but not much.
Huh.
So
And that's kind of where it got its name, Greenland, right? If it's along the coast where
Okay.
you get the ocean current,
Yeah, it warms
that
it
keeps
up a
it
little
warm.
bit.
But then inland, of course, it's just a big ice block.
Yeah,
I just don't.
Sounds
I
not
don't
very
know.
fun to live.
Yeah, I mean, why would you want? There's not that many people there.
Right.
I think I heard.
I hope
maybe
more
50,000 at the most.
I hope more podcasts doesn't have a strong Greenland following. I
know.
We're about to lose them all.
We just got it. Yeah, we just started getting Greenland, or maybe we might pull them on now because they get pulled into the states. So
Yeah.
So you're bringing up some interesting things that, to buy property, we're all like, how can you do that? But it's been done before.
Yeah, it has, yeah.
It just seems like Trump just
I don't understand
does things
it.
that we don't think about anymore.
I don't understand how you buy a country though,
right, isn't that weird?
and now it's American.
Greenland isn't a country
Okay.
in the sense it's owned by Denmark and it's a province of Denmark.
Okay.
So they govern themselves very well. Greenland does, but they don't own. Like they don't.
Denmark's their governing body.
Yeah. So we'd be paying Denmark, and then the civilians would also get money, and they would get money for infrastructure.
Are they
to help get them on board?
okay?
There's 57,000 people that live there.
50,000. Okay, so I wasn't
Oh.
too far off. Well, 7,000.
Well, I mean that's not even a large city.
Right.
yeah.
Right.
So the idea is we get this property, those folks now become American citizens. Can I move there as an American?
Yeah,
I'd
you will.
imagine,
Yeah, you
yeah.
can.
Now I can live in Denmark.
If you you can live in
Sorry,
Greenland. Yeah, you can
sorry.
live in Greenland if you want. Yeah, it's kind of like well, I think we talked about it. It's kind of like Puerto Rico, right? We can with a passport you can live there, and you're like.
But they
like
aren't
an American
voting.
citizen.
Puerto Ricans in Puerto Rico are not voting.
No,
right?
I don't think they're voting, but they have representation though. Now that just happened under the first term of Trump.
Guys,
I don't know the
feel-
answer. I don't
I'm
know the
way
answer
off on
to
all this. So,
Puerto Rico. I've just recently done a lot of research on Greenland, but
Right.
Pastor Gary's grokking it right now. He's going to find out if I think Puerto Rico's in a different place than it was even when I was a kid. They have some say.
So this is all strategy for the future when there's
yeah.
water.
So
Yeah.
there'll be and there already is a significant amount of water in where like the North Pole is. And so that's eventually going to be an ocean.
Yeah.
And it's already you could get around everything just going around the glaciers now. It's melted enough. And so
Right.
eventually there's going to be a full ocean there, and it's all Russian coastline.
Got it.
Yeah.
And so that connects straight to Canada.
Sure.
Which,
We don't want.
so we want to have some ports that connect
Got
us
it.
to that sea. So it just makes a lot of sense.
It's like real life Catan meets Risk.
Right.
the game board's changed.
Yes.
Right.
So
Got
we
it.
want some extra pieces
Yeah, yeah.
to
Okay.
That's a good way of looking at it. Yeah. I mean, well, we were there quite a bit. Like during the Cold War, we had, I think they said almost 30 some little bases on Greenland.
30?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Whoa.
And so now we're
How
down
big
to
is
2.
it again?
It's big.
It's huge. The land is huge.
60,000 people, though.
Yeah, there's just not much going on, but
Right.
it's big, right?
Yeah,
World War II, England went there first to take that island because they wanted not to take it, but to use it as a base.
Yeah.
And they just pulled up with their ships, and Greenland was like, all right, that's fine.
Yeah.
Come on.
They don't really have a problem with anything, really.
Come on. We're glad it's not the Nazis.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah.
And then eventually England got us to come over, and we didn't want to join the war, but we were willing to go and, we'll defend Greenland. And then we made a bunch of bases there. At the end of it, we sold all of it to them for $1. You can have back.
Wow.
The best part is, I just was reading about them a little bit. They don't really have a police department. That's the weird part. Yeah,
They have wolves to do that.
Yeah, wolves and polar bears. Yeah, they don't really have a police department. So, like that's how subtle these people are. They're not really. They don't cause any problems.
Theft happens, release the wolves.
Yeah,
go get them.
So here's your Puerto Rico information you guys need to know. They
be.
do vote in their local election stuff.
Okay.
And then they can vote in the U.S. Presidential primary, but then they can't vote in the president.
Why?
I'm just telling you what the facts are,
That's
buddy.
weird, Pete.
We need to change that. You need to run for office, Ted.
Like, if you get the right to vote for a primary, shouldn't you have the right to vote for the real one?
It shifts the climate for our electoral college is so narrow that adding in a new electoral college state could potentially turn it one-sided forever.
We don't want to say nation building, but if we're going out and getting more property,
right? Yeah.
What are these people doing? Right? They got to have some say.
But you're only talking 57,000 people. I mean,
right?
That's not even Detroit.
That's not Detroit.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, it wouldn't even.
Well, there you go.
How many people does it take to get an electron?
Well, they would get one no matter what.
Right.
That's it.
No matter what, they'd get one.
Sure. It'd be like the Northern Michigan swing of Michigan, you know how like we kind of swung Michigan the other way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, it used to be Lansing and Detroit, and then we got organized up here to be like, all right, everybody go to Greenland.
we're gonna
get that one.
We're gonna take over. I don't know. I don't think they really fall on either side though, honestly, because the guy that runs, I don't know if we call him a mayor or what, but he's like, we're not Republican or Democrat. We don't really care
until the wolves start carrying political signs.
That's right. Yeah. Until somebody gets over there. Somebody's going to figure it out once we get the property.
They're going to be like, this is the new Northern Michigan stronghold.
I don't think we will. I don't think we will get Greenland.
No.
Hunter,
is this like
he's making a prediction.
Is this like are we learning something about Pastor Hunter?
It's a political prediction right now.
Do you like this stuff?
I just know things. Okay. I don't know if I like it. I just know
we're
things.
Not going to get Greenland because of why?
Are you willing to put a crisp dollar bill on this one?
No. I don't think we'll get Greenland because I don't think Denmark wants to sell. I think Greenland wants to be their own governing system.
Yeah.
I think what could happen is we make a deal to where we have the
port rights.
We have some port rights.
Okay.
And where there's a agreement between both of us so that we can get the things that we want, and but they can potentially be their own country, and I think that would be that's the most realistic.
Okay.
Well, didn't
but that's also what Trump does. Trump's strategy is to I'm going to give you something so crazy, then when I back it off, people are like, oh.
Yeah,
I'll do that.
Yeah.
That's reasonable.
This is reasonable.
Well, he got NATO involved. I mean, NATO hasn't been on that island for years, and then when he started talking about buying it, all of a sudden NATO starts bringing forces in there, which they never had done before.
I'm just saying we need to buy Antarctica so we can get up there and see what's going on.
Yeah, what's happening?
This is the top of Canada.
Why can't we?
You're saying all those little islands are going to go under? Blunk?
Oh, those? No, I don't think they'll go under. There'll just be more water up there.
Okay.
That connects all of it. Connects it to Russia on the other side.
There's already like a channel going across.
Yeah, there is.
You can get
That's
in
why
there.
we're trying to get it.
Okay.
That's not how it used to be.
Yeah. So now, we need to get a hold of that. Well, Greenland is trying to sweeten the pot a little bit by just letting people know what they're going to get if they ever do purchase.
The Zillow thing.
This is the Zillow ad. Yeah.
Sorry, guys.
No. This is
one
good.
of my hyper focus.
This is good.
Awesome,
this is that's good to know. So basically, it's referenced on Zillow as a continental estate. So you're going to get all that property there's not much living area, not a lot of infrastructure, but you get all that. And so they say there's 5 reasons why you could fall in love with Greenland if you want to purchase it. The first one is it's open concept living, taken to an absurd level. There's no walls, no fences, no neighbors asking to borrow a ladder. Just endless open space and comforting knowledge that no one is watching. I mean, that's important. I don't know about you guys. When I bought my house,
just snow and ice.
I wanted the distance from my neighbors. They also say if you want to buy this property, built-in climate control, seasonally dramatic, naturally cooled year-round, perfect for buyers who believe turn the thermostat down as a lifestyle choice. I mean, this is where Pastor Gary, I can see a retirement in your future here. Really. Okay. I mean, you like that.
Yeah.
He loves this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm going to live up in Alaska. Mm-hmm. Here's another one. Privacy is so good it feels suspicious. You won't run into anyone ever. Perfect for introverts, stargazers, and people who say they like solitude and actually mean it. So that's a good sales pitch for this. I don't know. Zillow, I think he's got it nailed here. Another one here is low maintenance landscaping. Grass never needs mowing. Trees don't shed leaves, and snow does all the decorating for you. Minimal effort, maximum aesthetics. So think about that. I mean, you're not going to mow.
I just feel like the other selling point should be like, do you like seasonal depression? Because you will have it all year here.
This country is sponsored by Prozac.
Right.
Yeah, I know. That would be tough, but
I couldn't do it.
Well, they only have 6 months of sunshine, and then there's 6 months of darkness.
I mean, we're kind of there too, but
yeah,
not quite.
It's pretty bad though.
Yeah.
I mean, some of the pictures I saw online, I mean, you're waking up in the middle of night.
Sure.
And it's the morning.
Yeah, I couldn't do that.
We're listing with character, long nights, bright summers, Aurora Borealis, lighting included at no extra cost.
That'd be cool. Yeah.
It's not for everyone, and that's what makes it special. Because, I mean, when you're sitting there and you see those lights going across, you get all of it because you're so close to the Antarctic.
Sure.
Yeah. Here, agent remarks on this one that's selling it. Homes like this don't come on the market often, mostly because they're not homes. But if you're looking for space, quiet, and a little awe, this one delivers. So, there you go. Zillow puts it up there for $1 trillion. If you got $1 trillion, go for it.
Did you guys see the thing about, is it Russia, that town in Russia that got annihilated with 8 feet of snow? Have you seen these videos? They're real. It's a real thing.
Is that the one where they're like trying to plow to their door?
Right. And so it's these apartment complexes in a certain area of this town got destroyed with snow. And so it's because it's 8 feet of snow, and then it's like 20 kids are, blowing around a corner. And there's like videos of kids like opening their 12th story window of their apartment and getting on sleds and going down. It's incredible. It's all over crazy. My algorithm right now.
That's
pretty
insane.
Fun. Yeah, it's pretty fun. People are skiing.
That'd be.
The city had to put out a thing that was like, do not jump out of your windows. You don't know if there's like
a car under there.
Cars or like fences and stuff. Like you could impale yourself. Don't do that.
How do you clean up after that?
Right. It's crazy. But it'll be like an enormous drift, one space, and then a cliff next to it. So literally kids are skiing down these like skyscraper high apartment buildings. And then next to them is like, a parking lot.
I don't know if
it's wild. It's on.
I couldn't handle that. I mean, it'd be fun for like 1 second.
One day. Yeah. And then you'd be like, all right.
I saw the one video where they're shoveling themselves out of their house to go do grocery shopping or whatever. And it's just a little tunnel now that goes out of their house up until daylight. And then they walk on top.
It's kind of like our houses right here now. So
that's what it feels like. That's what it feels like.
Yeah. All right.
Well, okay. Greenland. So Greenland, I mean, I think it's kind of an interesting thing.
It is.
I don't know if, like Pastor Hunter said, I think we're going to get it, but I think we're definitely going to probably put more presence on there, military presence, So
if they had a bidding war, who else would be going for it?
China, Russia.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, China definitely has talked about wanting it. Apparently, that's what I've been listening to on Fox. Russia is too busy with their war in Ukraine right now, so they're not really so focused on it. But China is, and if they got it, I mean, that'd be bad news.
Oh yeah,
it'd be seriously bad news. Because they're already making. I just heard about this. I thought this was crazy.
That'd be a war.
That'd be a war.
Well, they're moving in on territory now because they just worked out this major auto deal with Canada, and it just happened last night to where they're going to be selling all these cars from China to Canada, and Canada's been getting cars from us for years, and so they're kind of like in your face. We're going to go with China because they got cheaper cars. Well, good for you. I don't know what kind of cars they are. I've never seen a Chinese car before, but
I don't know nothing about that.
Nope.
Do you remember the Polish cars, the Yugo?
No.
Okay.
It was like a little.
It was a piece of junk. That's what it was. It's like a 3-cylinder.
So this is before Hunter's time. Somebody drove a Yugo over the Michigan Mackinac Bridge, and it blew off.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Just caught a little wind.
Yep. They were driving on the grate, and it went off.
Seriously.
No way.
That thing was held together.
Happen.
Yeah, it did. It really did. Yeah.
Oh, man.
And when this is the thing, you see pictures of
it.
Yeah. When it hit the water, the thing crunched. And so there's pictures of it. When they pulled it out, it's like an accordion. That's how hard when it hit the water, it's like nothing. I don't know. Foreign cars, they're not that good.
You drive a Toyota.
Literally drove a Toyota here and brags about it every day.
Foreign cars?
Hey, is that really foreign? It was made in Indiana.
Like Chinese American.
It was made in Indiana. It was made in Indiana. I'm just saying. The
You have like every Toyota Pride sticker you can get.
You just got busted.
It may have an Asian name, but it was made in Indiana. I'm just
It's
saying.
assembled in Indiana.
Well, yeah.
That thing is made in China.
No, it's not.
Just like my car is, and
Subaru is not made in China.
assembled in Indiana. I got the sticker too, buddy. But
so that's what it's an American car, right? Yeah. Come on,
whatever
now.
you gotta tell yourself.
It's not. I'm talking about. Listen. Have you? I mean, whenever you see
more specifically, he's talking about Chinese cars. So
I'm talking about Chinese cars. I mean, if you ever got a Chinese car, I don't know about these other cars, but you get these cars that come over here from other countries, and they're like, "What in the world?" They don't work.
Yeah, I mean, you're
crap.
talking about something that was designed for that country, not designed for Americans, but made in another country.
Right, and they're too small. I mean, some of the cars that come over. I mean,
have you seen those ads for like buying little trucks and stuff from like?
Yeah.
Those are kind of cool though.
You're not going to fit 2 Americans in that truck.
$12,000, and it's like, yeah,
you're not going to fit 2 Americans in that little truck.
You might not fit one.
No, I might get in there. Yeah.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. It's like, that's how they think. And then they're going to sell cars, and Canada's not going to be happy with that.
No.
I mean, they like our big trucks. They like our, SUVs and our made in America Toyotas.
So you think they're just kind of snubbing us because of Trump,
they are.
We're going to buy Canada too.
It's a political.
Yeah. The Canadian Prime Minister did it on purpose because he's ticked at America because of the tariffs and all that other garbage. So, I'm like, good for you. Enjoy these little tiny cars that you can't fit in because Canadians aren't much different than we are. Yeah. They're not going to like that stuff. I mean, the first time they get into a so-called SUV and they can only fit 2 people in there,
Yeah.
Once they get I'm just saying, I was just like laughing so hard. I'm like, good for you. You made the deal of a lifetime. Go have fun. But I don't know.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, this is true.
Yeah.
Because my family's all part of Detroit Automotive Parts.
Yeah.
Hyundai and all those companies like that.
Yeah.
They literally had to redesign their vehicles when they started selling to the American market because they could not sell even in the economy size.
They're making them bigger.
Because and there's actually mathematics involved with the space size within the cabin and all this other stuff that they can't be certain sizes because Americans just won't even touch it.
Okay, well, we got to speed this podcast along because I'm ready to go eat some cheeseburgers
you got a half an hour, man. You got some time. Well, cheeseburgers where?
I was just kidding because of the Americans being bigger.
Oh, I got you.
Didn't land. Sorry, guys.
Cheeseburgers, French
I'm like,
fries.
I got offended. I'm like, what? We got a half an hour, Ted.
I was like, that car is designed for this
fat
guy.
people.
Yeah,
I got it. I know. Great fat joke there, Ted. That's nice.
Sorry.
I felt like that was pointed at me. That's kind of like fat
I was
shaming.
saying about me.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah.
Well, I guess it's okay if you do it to yourself. Yeah. Self-deprecation is
That's
fine.
right.
Yeah. All right. We're going to take an ID break. I'm going to try to get myself back together after that.
Toyota.
Yeah. Toyota. Yeah, come on now. Toyota. I'm just going to say it
Proudly
again.
made in Indiana.
My car, compared to some American-made cars like Ford and Chevy, I'm at 367 right now, or 267 right now.
I understand that, but whatever. It's fine.
And it's still running.
You were just talking about foreign cars.
Well, because I don't consider a foreign car was made in Indiana.
Is assembled, but whatever. Let's go. We got it.
That's a technicality.
It's a great car.
Hunter, help me out. That's a technicality, right?
Fight your own battles.
Oh, here we go. That's because you drive Ford.
I'm thinking of a lot of foreign cars I'd drive.
I drive only.
You would drive?
I think I've only ever owned
I'd drive an
Ford
Audi.
car.
Detroit made.
I'd drive a Lamborghini.
Yeah, right.
I would drive a
Yeah,
Ferrari.
Yeah.
There's a lot of foreign cars I'd drive.
Yeah.
Yeah, but those are not like,
I drive
the ones
pretty
that are
much
trying to get
any
into the
new
market
car.
now.
Yeah,
like
absolutely, man. I'm with you.
Isuzu.
Any-
You remember
yeah.
Isuzu cars?
Oh, it's
Yeah.
a good deal.
Yes,
Bugatti.
exactly.
Well, yeah,
Sweet.
Bugatti's like a race car, but I'm talking about the ones that we don't like. Geo.
You need to be more specific.
You know the Geo cars? Remember the Geo? Those are junk. Geo cars are junk. The Zuzu cars. Hyundai.
I remember when you could get the buy one get one free, the Kia thing. You remember that?
No.
They had it was like their smallest sedan thing.
Get one for you
I
and
had
your
a
wife.
Family member who did it, and I was like, I don't think that's
For real?
Like free.
Buy one, get one free?
It was like super financed, but like and it was immediately they broke. You know what I mean? But you had a brand new car for like 2 years, and it worked, and then you didn't have a car because it didn't work anymore.
Can't even get. Yeah. Well, Mazda's another one. Mazda was bought by Ford, but that was another foreign car company that
Datsun.
Datsun. Oh, remember Datsun? Ugliest cars. What happened? Talking about cars. I mean, when I was growing up, the cars were ugly, right? Even the Mustang was ugly.
Those 90s Mustangs were not the best.
No. And the one they have out now looks bad too. It's
I would agree.
yeah. It looks kind of like an SUV / car.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
just-
It's
I
got
saw
like a
one the other
big-
day. I'm like,
big
who would buy that?
backside, yeah.
Well, it's the same with the Tesla truck. I mean, you guys seen those up close?
Oh yeah.
Hey, those
ugly.
are sweet. I'd drive that.
I would
Really?
not.
Yes.
Like I said,
wife-
I'd drive any new
Yeah,
car.
if you're gonna
Yeah.
give it to me.
My wife hates those things.
They're ugly.
Tesla truck?
You just walk up to them and they sense your presence and they turn on and all kinds of
they
crazy.
just know you're there.
Yeah.
All right, master. Just like I'm a king.
I don't.
It's like Knight Rider.
Well,
For
yeah,
real, yeah.
I remember the commercials because Carson was telling me about one of them, and he shows me this new YouTube video. This guy's like, it's got sensors everywhere, and you can't even shut the door in your hand. And the guy lifts up the back trunk that has
Puts a banana in there.
and it puts a banana and it cuts the banana in half. And I'm like, obviously the sensors don't work as well. You think.
And then he stuck his hand in there. Did you see that one?
No, I
Yeah,
did not.
that was
That's
not
just
good.
dumb.
Yep.
I don't know. We got one guy that's got one in Sheboygan, and I'm like, it is so out of place.
Whenever we drive by one, Eli's like, Tesla.
Yeah.
Immediately. Like it's like the most thing. I just feel like it's the dorkiest looking thing.
It is a dorky
It is
truck, but
so dorky.
Why did you make it look like that? Why can't you make it look like something cool?
We're talking about it, I guess.
That's because it's ugly.
Yeah.
I think it's ugly.
I'd drive it.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Pastor Gary pulled
For real, you would,
I would.
Cybertruck.
you would drive that thing around, and you would be like,
Sunday
you would not be
morning.
like hiding yourself
Peach,
behind the tinted windows.
You know your congregation is like 90% redneck.
Yeah.
right? That
You
is-
would get made fun of
Right.
mercilessly.
I don't know why. I would drive it.
the reason why I wouldn't want to is just how much I'd.
Oh,
I
you
know.
would get
Yeah.
I'd get picked
roasted
on.
the second. I drive a Subaru, men.
Yeah,
around
I
this
know.
table. Do you know
Don't-
how much? Do you get the Subaru hate too?
No.
Hunter,
We don't know him well enough
You
yet.
haven't. It's coming.
Yeah.
I get lambasted
Bring it
about
on.
my car that does 32 miles a gallon.
Hey.
and
Bring it on.
Fantastic.
The
through snow.
moment people start picking on me is the moment they realize it's a bad idea. So bring it.
Does Amy
Let it
know?
happen. Let it. Well,
Amy know you drive a Subaru?
no.
She's the
Does
worst.
she?
She's the worst.
She's a bully.
She actually
when it
has
comes to that.
a song about Subarus.
Nice. Well,
Yeah,
you
and
can
it
tell.
does. It's not very.
I listen to it while I'm driving through snowbanks and not paying a lot of money for gas. So deal with it.
Yeah.
She wanted to get you a bumper sticker that said something, and I'm
Yeah.
like, no, that's too far. That's too far.
My truck gets 12 miles to the gallon.
Yeah.
12.
Right. Yep. I make that.
I love
make
it.
That
but
gas budget.
12 miles to the gallon.
Yep.
I like the fact that the vehicle I drive, I don't have to ever worry about the weather conditions. It does not.
Yeah. Me neither.
Never has to worry about it.
Me neither. And I fill the gas tank every 2 weeks. It's unbelievable.
Really?
Yeah.
That's not bad. I guess.
I'm not kidding you. I get 30 miles a gallon right now.
Yeah, but you can't tow anything with that.
What do I have to tow? I'm driving to work.
It's a car.
Right.
Yeah, but I got a camper or something.
Nobody's buying a car to tow.
No.
Well, I wanted to. I'd make it work. I would make it work.
Yeah, well, I'm just telling you, man.
If you had a
I'm
camper,
coming up on 200,000.
How do you move
that?
that?
car doesn't owe me a
How do you
dime.
move your little?
I borrowed
pop-up?
that church.
I'm going to tell you, this episode is not going to be in the top. This is not going to be
I know.
one of the
This
top
is
ones.
us being tired and delirious right now. We should move on to Harbor Light Bible Trivia.
Yeah, and time to move on.
We have
Okay,
gone off the rails.
Let's take an 90 break, get ourselves back together, come back with Harbor Light Bible Trivia. All right?
Welcome to the More Podcast, where the crew brings more groans than a dad at a barbecue. This episode has layers like an onion, or that casserole no one admits they made. If you hear a bad pun, verse 1. That's discipleship. Grab a seat, adjust your volume, and prepare for thoughtful conversation sprinkled with jokes that should have stayed in the group chat. We're glad you're here. No refunds. Let's do this.
That song fits a lot better after our last conversation. Kind of like, yeah. All right, here we are with Harbor Light Bible Trivia. And if you want to be part of it, you just got to send your answer to harborlightbibletrivia@gmail.com. harborlightbibletrivia@gmail.com, all lowercase. And let us know what the answer is, and then we'll put your, excuse me, I got burps. Put your name on the Wilson Insurance Wheel of Destiny. And when we spin it, you can win a prize. We don't know what the prize is yet, but we got prizes, right?
Let's go.
Oh, yeah. We got prizes. I will tell you that finally figured out the other name for the Kidron Valley, which was Jehoshaphat, right?
Yes.
Yeah. I'd never heard that before. Took me some digging.
Okay.
But I found it. Yeah.
I'm impressed that you actually went home and worked on it. That was great.
Well, I was in my office. Yeah. But yeah, it's interesting. I never know they ever called it that before. It's not a popular name, but it's a name that was associated with it. Yeah. Interesting. So, Pastor Gary.
Yes.
You have a question for us this week.
I do.
Yeah.
This is another geography kind of one.
Oh no.
All right.
The tough ones.
Yep, these are tough.
Where's Greenland? No.
don't bring it up again.
Oh, sorry.
All right. So there are 3 valleys in the city of Jerusalem.
Yeah.
Those 3 valleys, I don't need to know the names, but I need to know what Hebrew letter those make up.
Whoa.
Oh. That's
Say
good.
it again.
There are 3 valleys in the city of Jerusalem. When you look at them on a map, they make a Hebrew letter. What letter is that?
Wow.
No idea?
Not a clue.
You know. You're
No, I do not know
Is
it.
that your poker face right now? You're
This
like,
is
I'm
me.
not.
I have no idea what that means.
Whoever gets this one is earning those bacon socks.
Yep.
I
Yeah.
tell you.
We got it. Okay, so if you know the answer, send it to harborlightbibletrivia@gmail.com, all lowercase, and let us know the answer so we can put your name on the Wilson Insurance Wheel of Destiny and spin it, and you can win prizes on us. And, we always go and spare no expense. We get the good stuff. Could be a lot of different things. So we'll be right back, and we'll be right into a Bible talk with Pastor Gary and continuing on in our series on Into the Valley.
You are listening to the More Podcast, where yes, we're pastors, but like cool pastors. The kind who say things like the youths and mean it affectionately. We're fully aware of what young people want today. Authenticity, depth, and for older guys to stop trying so hard. So naturally, we're trying harder. Expect faith, wisdom, and cultural references that land somewhere between vintage and please stop. If this feels a little cringe, that's intentional. Welcome to the More Podcast.
Well, before we jump in, let me just set the stage for you of what we've been talking about on the More Podcast. We all love mountaintop moments when faith feels strong, prayers feel answered, and God feels close. But the truth is, none of us live on the mountain forever. Every one of us eventually finds ourselves in a valley, and the real question isn't if we'll go there, but what we'll do when we're there. Last Sunday, Pastor Gary continued our Into the Valley series with one of the most honest and challenging messages yet. He reminded us that God isn't just present in our victories, He is faithful in our pain, our betrayal, and our seasons of deep cleansing. This message walks straight into the Kidron Valley, a place of broken trust, hard truth, and spiritual surrender. It's raw, it's biblical, and it's deeply relevant for anyone who's ever been hurt, disappointed, or forced to walk through something they didn't choose. So lean in, let the Word do its work, and let God meet you right where you are as you're listening to the podcast. Here's Pastor Gary.
Well, I want to invite you guys into this conversation, obviously, and we have. It was kind of fun to look at the way that God led. That very first message, God kind of leads us into those valleys so that we can grow. And then the one that you did on Chained in the Valley was really our decisions leading us into the valley. And this is the one that sometimes we get pushed into the valley by somebody else, and that was the idea of betrayal. But starting with the betrayal of God, that was the cleansing of the temple. And I found it really fascinating when I actually dug in to see how much time there was between Hezekiah and Josiah. There was only 75 years between those two cleansings, which was kind of surprising to me. I expected a little bit longer amount of time in there, but just kind of references back. And I thought it was a nice lead-in from where Pastor Hunter had left us, that, those compromises ended up, kind of chaining Samson to his problem. This idea, this compromise, it only took 75 years to go from cleansing right back to complete paganism, worship right in God's temple. I mean, that's also the thing that was probably the most
insane.
Yes, it wasn't just on an Asherah pole next door. It was like right in God's temple. He just had to be. I'm making God into a human a little bit, but he just had to be biting his lip the entire time, right? I mean, how could we just snub God that badly? And so it was kind of fascinating to realize then. The other thing that I got excited about was the fact that the Kidron Valley is right next door to the Temple Mount. It makes up the Temple Mount, which represents relationship, right? That these two are in relationship with each other. And to see how taking the things from the temple that were sacrilegious and an affront to God, and then taking them over the edge and just chucking them down in that valley was a really good visual, I think, that kind of helps us understand that. What areas of your guys' lives do you find yourself maybe reverting back to? And I'm not looking for major confessions, but are there things that you find where you struggle going back
let
to?
Let me tell you. No.
Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah.
Do you struggle with anything like it's called a stronghold or a besetting sin or something that where it just seems to, it's really tough to break those chains? Anything in?
I'll speak for myself. There are things that you carry on from childhood and from previous relationships, and that's tough. I've mentioned on this podcast before, so it's not like anything surprising. But I didn't have a great relationship with my parents, and that really affected my relationship with my spouse and my kids, and it was something that I had to deal with, and it was a continuous issue because I kind of get a little victory over some things, and then I find I'm back in the same thing, or I'm doing the same, saying the same things, or acting the same way. But eventually, I feel you have to ask my wife, but I feel like I've gotten to a place now where I'm beyond it. Like God has given me victory and control. But it is tough. I mean, those kind of things, you don't even realize how subtle some of these chains are that are linked on you. And then you're like, oh my gosh, look at what I'm doing. And then, it's the age-old adage, like, I don't want to be like my parents. And then you're like, oh my gosh, I'm doing exactly what I did not want to do. And that's tough. And it's something that only God can fix.
Yeah. I find myself struggling sometimes with, materialism or, trying to find satisfaction in things, right? Yeah. And and I'll go through a little season where like, come on, Gary, let's get our mind set on the things of the Lord. But it doesn't take long, and I find myself right back in that same repeat rut. And you just see the children of Israel. I always found it kind of fascinating that it was the Lord's blessings that actually caused them to become kind of not passionate, and then they don't need God, and then they're actually angry at God and rebelling, and then find themselves in deep weeds and calling on his help. That cycle over and over and over again. But I find that in our lives as well.
Yeah.
It's shocking how we have short-term memory problems so bad. I mean, it's like this happened 75 years, but there are times in Judges where it was like 10 years, 20 years. I mean, it was like, it wasn't like in a generation issue. It was happening in the same generation. Like they saw God deliver them, then they went back to it like 10, 15 years later. And it's like, did you guys not remember what happened there? I mean, there were people that are alive that had been a part of whatever God had done. I think that's interesting that we as believers have that problem. I mean, we do now. I mean, we go through stuff. I mean, we were talking about it last week. We had some conversation at our small group. It's like, God, thank you for saving me from this and moving me on from this. And then you find yourself doing something similar to it. You get like, I forgot that had happened, or we have had victory, or something has changed, or whatever. And it's like, man, I can see why Israel started creating the environment of altars and Ebenezer stones to remind themselves of these things, because that was the whole point. Was like, we have short-term memories. We forget it. We forget what God does. And if we do that, we're in trouble, because we're going to be right back to it at some point.
Sorry, Peach.
No, go ahead.
Yeah, I love that idea of Ebenezer Stone and the kind of the free life stuff that we do around here with at Harbor Light of the Karen, right?
Mm-hmm.
Remembering the path you were on, kind of thing. Remembering how God has used you, and I think there's something so powerful about remembering, and maybe we could put the term testimony on that.
Yeah.
I know for me, it's remembering how God's brought me out of depression, like when I have moments in the year where that's just really heavy. And it's not to say that depression is a sin, but it's the things that come out of it. I'm not going to get off the couch. I'm going to kind of mope and wail when I know the things that I need to do that are on my part, right, to kind of address that. But the Lord has provided victory in the past, and there is something very powerful about remembering that God's been faithful in the past. He's going to be faithful today. And I think that there's something for us in that of, man, it is pretty like human nature to think about how you are desperate for the Lord in desperate situations of life, and then quickly you move past that. And that's the story of the Israelites, and that's the story of us too. Yeah. And so that remembering thing, I think, is a really powerful tool in the box of a Christian to be able to go, hey, if you want to see victory in your life, full victory comes when we're fully in front of the Lord, right? And that's not this side of heaven, but you can see victory in the sense of just remember what He's done. Remember, tell yourself, have other people tell you them. There is power. Yeah,
and that should give you confidence to walk forward. Yeah, I find it really interesting, the question, Pastor Gary, what do you find yourself going back to? And when you were preaching, you said, they had to throw out the Asherah pole, right? Which to me, my connecting Bible story brain starts clicking because there's stories of Asherah pole. So of course in Numbers, Moses raises an Asherah pole with a golden serpent on it, and of course those are different, right? And this isn't the same Asherah pole. Interesting that Satan chooses to use something similar. That looks similar to worship something entirely different. Yeah. Right. And I think he does that a lot in the church too. Man, this kind of looks holy. It kind of looks the way it's supposed to be, but in actuality, it's very wrong. Right. So for me, I grew up as a kid. A lot of my value came from winning. And so, is what the easy thing for me is to take that right into the church world. And now winning in the church world is where my value's at, and that's not right. Okay, but it kind of looks right, right? But it's really it's very, very wrong, and in some ways it's actually worse. And so Satan will get more crafty with you to try to make it, to try to whitewash it, so now it looks really good on the outside, but it's really dangerous on the inside.
What you're saying there is interesting, because one of the things that's been a red flag for me, or radar thing that's been popping up a lot with churches in America, is this idea of the spirit of excellence. That to me is I understand the premise in some regard, but the way it's being used is not good. It's kind of it's based on ego, it's based on pride, it's not something that is a very humble statement. But when we're talking about it, sometimes when we talk around about this idea of spirit of excellence, we're talking about do your best, make it look good. But it's almost taken on a whole nother level. It's supernatural. It's something that goes beyond even what we're capable of doing. And it's scary because we've got a very competitive mindset with things. If spirit of excellence now means that we got to have a bigger screen, better worship team, and the pastor has to preach bangers every Sunday. And if he doesn't, then we're obviously not that good of a church. And it's good grief. It goes back to, I think you mentioned a while back about consumerism in the church. It's we've basically become franchises, and we're looking to outdo the other franchise. And
it's a dangerous thing.
Yeah, it is dangerous. Yeah, and it's kind of like what you're saying.
Yeah, exactly what it is. You got to really look at your heart and say, why do I want this to be excellent?
Yeah, right.
Because if it's for the Lord, then that's pretty good. But if it's not, it's definitely rooted in self-centeredness. Yeah, narcissism most likely.
Yeah. How about that connection that I was able to make? And I'm sure you guys have all seen it before, but there's a definite, undeniable connection between our walking away from the Lord and the sexual temptation and sin that can get a hold of people.
That's real.
I was really wanting people to understand that that's a two-way highway, right? There's the walk away from God, end up in sexual sin. Then there's the get involved in sexual sin and walk away from God. It's a double lane highway there. And I was hoping to really, get people's attention that this is something we don't play around with, because the enemy loves to get us trapped in that. Right.
Well, yeah. I think even beyond the actual description of the act or whatever it may be, we're talking about complete giving of someone's will to their flesh and to what, they want instead of what God wants. I mean, that's really what it symbolizes, is that you don't get any part of me. I'm giving it all to whatever I want, and I'm in control of everything. I think that's really sort of like the base problem with that whole experience, is that we're moving away from God having any part of our lives. We're going to just take it all away from him. We're going to do whatever we want with them. It's complete rebellion.
Yeah.
And so when you see that happening in society, or see it happening in your own life, that's the path you're on. It's not necessarily the act itself. It's the path you're moving towards of continually to exclude God or move away from God or make God obsolete to the point where you're on your own. You don't have anything to do with it. It's not actually claiming pseudo-atheism. It's just that I just don't want God to be a part of I want to make my own decisions and do what I want to do. Yeah. That's rebellion against God. That's complete rebellion. And that's exactly what they started doing, was the whole movement for it.
And of course, we moved from betraying God to David's betrayal, and his was a double dose because he got it from his son and from his best friend. I got a few comments from people saying that they had never seen that connection before. That quote that we looked at real closely was when Ahithophel brings Absalom into the city, and he says, "Hey, look, David left 10 of his concubines here. Why don't you go sleep with them? We'll make sure everybody can see it." And that will be an insult beyond reconciliation. I mean, I felt like I was able to really drive that point home. Like, this is more than just betrayal. This is like stick the knife in and turn it, and then later to be able to see and recognize that, that would be Bathsheba would be David's, or Bathsheba.
21 Days coming out.
Okay, yeah, I'm tired right now. So, what's that lady's name?
Bathsheba.
Yeah,
thank you.
Bathsheba. You
got it.
Her grandfather would be Ahithophel.
Yeah,
right. And that was something that you can see where he had unresolved betrayal. He was hurt by David, right? And he didn't take care of it correctly. And he just waited and waited for we don't know how many years until he saw his opportunity. And then, of course, we know that he ends up taking his life. I think he ended up finding out that, that betrayal pie didn't taste as good as he had hoped.
Right.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, how could it? Right.
Yeah. And then, of course, jumping over to the betrayal of Jesus.
Yeah.
And it's kind of amazing. I don't know if there's a single place that I'm aware of in the Bible where Judas' name isn't mentioned without it saying the one that betrayed Jesus.
Right.
I mean, it's literally tagged onto his name. And
the disciples are making sure of that, right?
Yeah.
When they're right, we're going to point this guy out.
Right. Yeah. So just the deep remorse that he had for betraying Jesus. Obviously, he did it for money, and he did it. And that there are other people that believe that he did it because he was trying to push Jesus to the kingship that he was looking for. And then when he realized, the Bible actually said, I read it for you guys, when he realized he was condemned to death, that's when the breaking point came in Judas. But we've all been through things that have hurt us, people that have hurt us in the past. I have some that are way more deeply wounded than the one that I gave on the Sunday morning example. But it's too dangerous to do, to confess those things on a Sunday morning because people try to start figuring that stuff out. Right. And the way I told the story wasn't even accurate. You wouldn't even be able to figure out who the person was, but change the facts to protect the guilty.
Yeah,
but, we all go through those things, and those things are really deeply hurtful. But you have to walk towards the Lord, towards the temple, right? Mm-hmm. That's the shortest path out of this. It's the path that leads to life. If you're going to hold on to it like Ahithophel did for years and years and years, that's the path to the Dead Sea. And so it was I really enjoyed, this is kind of selfish, I guess, but I enjoyed preaching this message because I spent time really studying and connecting dots and those kind of things, and it was life-giving to be able to preach that and then try to help people not get stuck in the idea of, that you get wounded and then you want to get revenge. The big point that came at the end of my prep time was, do you want your pain repaid, or do you want to see your betrayer remade? Right? When you put your trust of God avenging you or making things right in His hands, then you have to be patient and let Him do it His way. And you might not actually ever see it, but you're going to trust that God's going to get a hold of that person's heart. And that made me flash to, I think it's Jonah chapter 4, verse 1, or chapter 1, verse 4. I can't remember. But anyways, he's like, I don't want you to go, set the Assyrians free because you're slow to anger and rich in mercy. And I really don't want to see these guys get off.
I knew you were going to do this.
Okay.
I knew you were going to.
Yeah. If I go help, then you're going to take it. And I don't want that. I want to get some revenge on these people.
Yeah, they don't deserve it.
Yeah, right. I just add something. We studied the rest of that chapter, and it was interesting because later on, David has to flee Jerusalem, right?
Yes.
And they're all upset. People are like crying, and it talks about how they were crying and standing there watching him leave the gates and all this stuff. The interesting thing that was in the text was that it says, and he was leaving with the Ark of the Covenant.
Yes.
With the Levites. Some of the Levites went with David. Mm-hmm. And as David's walking down the road, Alathar, the high priest at the time, he's like, what are we doing? The Ark of the Covenant should not be coming with us. It should stay in the temple. Mm-hmm. This is not for us to carry around with us. And so we were talking about that whole thing, and David finally is like, yeah, send it back. I shouldn't be taking this. But the idea I was getting from that is like, it's interesting, even in our pain sometimes, we really want any success or victory to come. We want God to, put His hand of blessing on it, in the situation. Mm-hmm. Especially when it's something that we've been really hurt by, mm-hmm. right? And we're trying to convince God to be on our side, right? Mm-hmm. Like know what they did to me, and God, you go out and you smite them, kind of like the sons of thunder, burn them out,
right?
And it was sort of like that's what I was getting from this idea with David. Like David's like, well, if I can't play in the sandbox, I'm taking my toys with me, so I'm taking the Ark of the Covenant with me. We're going out, and I'm going to just do what I need to do as the king of the, And somebody was able to speak truth to him and say, listen, this is not how God works. Mm-hmm. And I think for me, it was a message personally, like, when you're going through it, God is definitely with you. He's supporting you, but that's no way to deal even with the situation, as well. It's like you start reading scriptures where it looks like God's going to vindicate you in Romans, like I'll repay. Mm-hmm. And you're like, yeah, do that, make it bad, hit him with sickness or something, do something like, it's kind of like this vindictive thing.
Yeah.
But God was teaching David a really valuable lesson about that, about this idea of I'll take care of it. Don't worry about it. But you live in mercy and forgiveness because it's going to kill you. It's going to eat you up.
Right.
And if he didn't, it would have been bad.
I wanted to see David and how he dealt with this betrayal and find some of these nuggets that we could apply to our lives. And he did pretty good, actually. Mm-hmm. When he crosses the Kidron, he gets to the other side. There's a guy on the other side throwing rocks at him and insulting him and saying, you scoundrel, and all this kind of stuff. And some of the guys with David are like, hey, we can go take that dog's head off, right? And he's like, no. My own son's, betraying me. And, this guy, let's go ahead and just let him keep insulting us. It's not that big of a deal. Again, that was that point that I was making, that the closer the relationship, the deeper the wound, right? So here's a guy who doesn't even know, and he's insulting him. He's like, let him go. It's no big deal, right? Yeah. It's the closest people that hurt us the most. And then David goes on a little bit further, and he's kind of really dealing with this in an interesting way. He's going to escape. He's trying to get away from this betrayal, where Jesus walks towards it, right? And so I didn't find a ton of things that I could grab from David and apply to our situation, but Jesus, of course, is our perfect example, and to see Jesus say, "Look, I'm going to take my hands off the wheel here, and not my will, but your will be done," right? And that's one of my favorite things about the prayer that Jesus prays on the Mount of Olives. He's praying, and he's like, "I don't really want to die on the cross. I'm not looking forward to the pain." Right? Is there any other way? Is there another cup I can drink from? But because this is the only way, I'm gonna trust you, God, that going through this valley, going through this hard time is what is best for the the whole world. I'll be willing to do it. Yeah. And I think that's the heartbeat that we need to try to get to, but that's a long journey across that valley to get to that spot.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Any thoughts?
If I could just add one, it's kind of going back a little bit, but the Bible doesn't really specifically talk about it, but I think you did a good job connecting that. Ahithophel did not have pure motives in his counsel towards David. And I wonder it doesn't share it, but man, I wonder how many small things there were. I wonder who Absalom, who he really was and what he could have been. And I wonder how much was Ahithophel just breadcrumbing him along. Mm-hmm. Is his counsel so good? I wonder, because you can play that, that backhanded moves of like, oh, I'm going to get this kid geared up for this. The Bible doesn't say that, but I think there is something really practical there that you got to make sure that the people who are with you, no matter how good their counsel is, that they actually have your best interest in mind. Yeah. Because they can be a stud and an absolute, incredible, gifted at all kinds of things. But if they're not with you and they want to see you win, this might be a dangerous person for you to have be in your closest counsel. You're almost setting yourself up for now people are crafty and it's hard to notice, and I'm sure that's the issue with. Yeah.
Well, how do you know that though? You raise a good point. How do you know that though?
It's hard, right? It's hard. I don't have a great answer, but you got to be looking. You got to be watching.
Because you mentioned, I think it was this service. You mentioned that you've given your friendship to people, and then it turns out really bad. Like they stab you in the back.
Yeah.
What's changed as far as your way of navigating that and pay attention?
This is something that was a deep conviction of Lisa and I. We sat down with some pastors when we first got started, and they're like, "Look, don't build any friends. You'll just be by yourself for the whole rest of your life." And we were like, "No, that's not who we are, and we know that people will fail us, but we're gonna put ourselves out there, and we're gonna have relationships with people." And there's been good, bad, and the ugly, but we haven't let that stop us from having relationships with people. And our small group, we're as real and raw with these people as we possibly can, which can be, like I talked about the pedestal thing. I pretty much, people kick the pedestal out really quick on me. I'm not. They come to our small group and they're like, "Man, you're nothing flashy.
You're a guy.
Yeah. You're just a guy." Yeah. I'm like, absolutely. I'd hope and never present this error, that I'm something that I'm not. Right.
Yeah. I mean, as someone who has not grown up in Harbor Light and has had experience in very opposite, I would say, very polar opposite kind of styles of ministry of Harbor Light, I would say that I would bet because of your authenticity and willing to do that is longevity in ministry. Like I just think that I understand what those pastors had said and maybe have lived in that in the past of myself. I get that kind of protection mindset, but I think you're just missing a whole part of life. And I think you and Lisa Kay have nailed it on the head of going, the vulnerability will leave us wide open for the attack of somebody, but the payoff I think is much greater, and you guys know that better than anybody else. So
yeah,
I've always admired that part with you guys, because that's the way you. When I first started coming to youth group, that's the way you were, and I think that's something that's definitely affected my ministry personally, because it was always something that was the highlight of what we thought was so important in community life. It's not just, I'm a pastor, listen to me, listen to my sermon on Sunday, but it's a relationship. And relationship requires vulnerability, requires, you can't say I love you and I care about you if I'm not being willing to be vulnerable with you.
You don't actually know that person.
Right. Then it's just a job. Then it's a career.
Yep.
So when we moved from being an assistant pastor to being the senior pastor, that was a really bumpy ride at Harbor Light. And I had a lot of sheep bites, I got bit a lot. And so I had a couple of people that are still close to us today. They were like, "You were a little prickly when we first got to know you." And this story I told you guys was in that era. And so I'm sure I was a little standoffish a little bit. And, but the Lord's, healed through those things. And, we got back on the horse and we rode into those relationships, full galloping. And it's been life-giving, right? I can't imagine doing life on an island with just the two of us. And
doesn't work.
It doesn't work, and that's not what we're designed for. Yeah. And so the Lord's been super good to us, and we have close friends that we can trust and talk about whatever we want to talk about, and they don't hold it against us. And that gives us life, and I think, like you said, it gives life to those relationships, and people realize that, we don't live in the Bible Belt, but there is still this kind of sense that, our marriage is the best, our finances never struggle. Right. I've never had a day of doubt in my life. None of those things are true. Right. Yeah. And so when you can let people in, peek behind the curtain a little bit and let them know that you're just a real person just like they are, and you struggle just like they do, but we have victory in Christ, so let's walk this out together.
Yeah. And I think your point that you made earlier is that when you were getting ready for your study, you're paying attention to how David reacted after the fact.
Yeah.
I think that's what people are really looking at. It's not necessarily all the actions line up perfectly. But what's your reaction? I mean, how are you dealing with it when everything does come to focus and everything does start becoming noticed? That's when you really begin to understand where you're at. And I think that's what people probably admire most about you, is they see how you've dealt with those things.
So
as opposed to them.
I'm going to tell you, I may have bought this gift for you a year ago or more. It's a book that impacted my life greatly, and it's called The Tale of Three Kings, right? And so you have King Saul. He represents doing everything in the flesh and by your own power and kind of that winning mentality, right? And then you have David. He's the common thread through the whole story, but he's a man who has a heart after God and screws up and apologizes and repents. And then you have Absalom, the person who tries to take control away, right? And David is the little thread that ties these three relationships together. So it was a book that made a huge impact on me, that enough so that I read it, without exaggerating, I probably read it every 2 to 3 years for my entire ministry, senior pastoral life.
That's good.
And it helps me refocus and recenter myself on what I'm called to, and to not do things in my own strength, right? And to trust the Lord and put your life in His hands. I did get that for you, didn't I?
You did? Yes, good book.
So it's a really, really good book. Yeah.
Well, we're running out of time. You preaching next Sunday?
I am. We're going to do the Valley of Dry Bones.
Oh, that's a good one. Ezekiel?
Yeah. So I'm looking forward to getting a chance to present that. Hunter and I both kind of prayed about it, and we just felt like it's going to be a fun one to, energize people with whatever thing in your life that seems to be completely dead, not just dead, dried up, right? There's just no possibility of life. And to see the resurrection power come into that.
It's going to be good.
Yeah, it's going to be really, really good.
That's exciting.
That's really good. Oh, well, that's it for us. We'll see you guys next week, and hopefully won't be buried under 5 feet of snow.
Hopefully.
What was that, Russia?
Yep.
Oh, man. I
And
don't
I
want
think
that.
it was 8 feet. You said
8 feet? Oh, my gosh. Well, we'll be praying against that in the name of Jesus. We don't want any more snow. All right, but we'll talk to you guys later.
You have found us. More podcast, where we want you to know God more deeply, find lasting freedom, discover your destiny and make an eternal difference. Now,